So if there's this handoff between monetary policy that's out of bullets, and we get into some of this fiscal dynamic, that probably at least in my mind, it feels like it's a bit late. So we do think this bill, as it gets reconciled, will be accretive to GDP, and will have a nice impact on overall economic growth. The Bush tax cut was supposed to be 100 basis points of GDP, and it ended up to be 200. So there's a multiplier through the economy. This may be 50 basis points, but we feel it could be more than that. It remains to be seen how this gets enacted and when it kicks in. This is not an 18 story per se. Look at the other dynamic of fiscal policy that to me it's surreal. I want to talk about deregulation and reading the couple of reports that the Mnuchin Treasury has put out, and to me it's reading them is akin to watching TV, and you've got a former vulture and a former vulture running the Treasury, the Secretary of Commerce, and you got a former vampire squid running the Treasury, right? But you're reading this, and it's just the title: a financial system that creates economic opportunities. Right? I feel like our industry has been so vilified by the likes of Elizabeth Warren, and it's like I couldn't believe what I was reading. It's like, this is so cogent and rational. Mm-hmm. It makes so much sense to read what they're proposing. But basically, the idea is, let's put our financial system back on a level playing field with the rest of the world. Let's take out deregulation that doesn't need to be there. Let's take out regulators that don't need to be involved in different decisions. Let's take out duplicative things. Let's take out risk retention. There's all these things where they are rightfully looking at the regulations and saying the pendulum's swung way too far. Mm-hmm. We are being anti-competitive as far as how our capital markets, which are a huge asset to the U.S. economy, are working. And so, on top of what we talked about tax, we've got this dynamic of deregulation that it's very clear what they want to do as they start to get people in those seats and start to get the Fed governors in place, and that's been taking a long time. This really starts to have teeth within the U.S. economy, and you're seeing it in financials, et cetera, but there's trillions of dollars of unspent reserves just through the banking system.